just gonna wait for it to start. Hello, welcome to our next podcast. I may have not accidentally uploaded the last one, but that'll happen soon. I just realized that. Yeah, it's been a week and I haven't uploaded that. Sorry, but this one, I guess I'll upload that one right before I upload this one.
Letting us know.
Yeah, I just realized that.
Now.
Yeah. Yeah. We just finished watching the 3 episodes, 2 Amphibia and then 1 Owl House the segments are 2 and then
You know what we need.
yeah. So the things that came out yesterday. So we've got Commander and Sprivy, and the Owl House one was... Somebody fill in the gap, please.
Elsewhere and Elsewhen.
Elsewhere and Elsewhen, yes.
We're going to be doing things in a bit of a different order this time. We're going to start with the Owl House episode because Noah had
controversial
problems
for
with this episode, and we're probably going to be arguing. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Respectfully.
Civilly arguing, but yeah, we're gonna. It's kind of much more controversial. Not controversial in a bad way, but like we have different opinions about it.
Boom! Take that, loser. Oh, sorry, I'm playing Yokai Watch and I just beat the boss.
Lamau.
Guys, you should play Yokai Watch 3. It's a really good game.
Just specifically the third one?
No, play all of them.
Okay.
In fact, Yokai Watch is better than Pokemon. Don't at me.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, Yokai Watch is.
What are you? Who are you? Anyway, okay, we can't talk about this right now. We're gonna start with Elsewhere and Elsewhen, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, who wants to talk about
I will start, I guess. This, Season 2 of The Owl House has genuinely been, amazing so far. This episode is basically perfect. It's such a good episode. Let's see, God, I don't know, the writing is just so good. I don't know where to start.
Leaking your last name on the screen right now, man.
What? Oh my god.
Toby, you're leaking your last name on the screen right now.
I didn't realize that because I was, I'm not even looking.
See, what aspect? There's so many parts of it we should talk about. I have no idea where to start.
We could probably start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Sure.
Steve made a comeback, and Dora the Explorer made a cameo.
Steve! The best character, obviously.
I like how they actually redesigned Steve so that we can actually notice that it's Steve now.
We know who it's Steve. Is he still? He's still in the Emperor's Coven because he still has his mask.
I guess so, but I don't know. Maybe not.
The lore of Steve. We need to get.
Hard to tell. Whatever. We know Steve is gonna appear again at some point because we do have a screenshot of an episode with him on a motorcycle.
Yeah. He's also his friend, so.
Yeah. Anyway.
I like the way it sort of explores how insecure she is. I like the way it does that.
Lilith, he means.
Yeah. What did you think I said?
Because you didn't say who you were talking about, but yeah.
I did.
The insecurities of Steve.
Oh, Steve. There's also, Philip is an ass. Philip is an absolute ass, but that's fine.
Excuse you, Philip. No one.
I loved the plotline with Philip. It was so great
plotline though.
It was great, but
the twist that he was Bellows, it's not exactly an unpredictable twist, but it doesn't mean it's bad. I really like that.
Yeah, everyone has.
Well, not that shocked. I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Yeah, all of the fandom was Bellows, Philip, same person, but because of the ending, it was oh, we were right. That's an interesting thing. So
They did a good way of revealing it.
Yeah, it was.
They did a good way revealing.
Yeah.
I like how instead of just putting on the mask, they do the more interesting thing of how
something that we've seen him do before. That
something that only he would do.
Mm-hmm.
As far as we're aware.
Yeah, it's. I mean, even like the people in the Emperor's Coven kind of see it as weird in the episode that happens in. What episode is that? I don't remember.
I don't remember what episode it was in either.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode that was, but yeah, it's that was like you knew it was him because of that thing. Also, I mean, his hair has gotten really long, because Bellus's hair is really long.
I'm interested to see like how he like kept himself alive for that long.
I'm willing to bet it has something to do with like the glyphs he engraved onto his arm.
Yeah, probably. I mean that is a big thing that we're all gonna be like confused about probably for a little bit. Me and Mike talked about this a little bit on text, and you guys talked about it yesterday on call. I said that I think that's I mean, it probably is he's trying to keep it down, and we know that, but why is it's only his arm that's bubbling, and that makes like how do I word this?
That's where he engraved the glyphs, obviously.
Yeah. They're trying to activate. Is it the same? It's the same thing that he puts on the ground to teleport, right?
Yes.
So did he think it could be like some kind of teleportation device when he put it on
himself?
Or did he put it? Did he put it on himself? Did someone else do that?
Yes. No. Rebecca Rose confirmed that he put it on himself.
He put it on himself. Did he think that he was going to be able to teleport with it?
She didn't say why, but she still said that he did that to himself willingly. So.
Okay. So then we're probably gonna like understand why he did that at some point, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I imagine.
It's probably not the full like thing of how he became the person, like the like how his physical form is now. He also definitely cut his ears. He has kind of long ears normally. Like they look really weird, but like they're really small as Bellos,
Also, can we get a rest in peace to every single person Bellos killed for their talisman?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rip Blue Fang Man.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't deserve this.
I was gonna say the reincarnation of Anne, but not Anne.
Also, it's interesting, but not really. That's interesting. That also not really that surprising that when Wild Magic was normal, it was seeming to be a lot better.
Yeah,
I love how Lilith at the beginning was like, "Careful, Luz, there's wild magic here. It might be dangerous." And then they go there, and it's so nice and peaceful. Mm-hmm. And it kind of demonstrates how like Lilith has been fed, like she's been fed enough propaganda to believe that like it would be dangerous, and then she goes there, and it's like, oh, it's actually really nice and peaceful.
Yeah.
I also find it interesting that Lilith, who at this point is a wild witch herself, is saying this to her wild witch niece.
Yeah. Wild witch.
I mean, it kind of again, like it goes back to like she's been fed like enough propaganda her whole life to kind of still believe that and still kind of latch onto that way of thinking.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, she was a big part of the Emperor's Coven for a long time. It's like what they thought and everything that they've been told, because that's how life has been for them. They didn't know. Yeah. Their mom, like, Ida and Lilith's mom, like, was part of that era, and she probably knows, but it was, like, it happened when they were really young, so it's not a part of their memory, like, how time was then.
It's hard to tell. And on the topic of Ida and Lilith's parents, we actually get to meet Del for the first time.
Yeah. I love that scene so much. Like, it's probably one of my favorite scenes on the show. I love it so much.
Yeah, I love... Del is a great character now. Like, Gwendolyn is an interesting character, but Del is fun, and he's cool, and I feel bad for him and we saw him like with his red hair in Ida's episode or in Ida's part of knock knock knock.
Oh, knock knock knock.
Yeah, but now we see his like current what he looks like now. And
I like how Dell isn't mad at Ida at all, and that it's just entirely just Ida being mad at herself. Like that's interesting.
It is a lot of guilt just for Ida herself. That's all. Like all that. Like the only reason she has trouble facing him is because she feels so guilty, and it's so hard for her to be like, I did this to you. I can't. I don't deserve to be forgiven. Like that's the.
Yeah, to the point where she doesn't even want to talk. Like she tried to avoid talking to them in any way possible, including doing really stupid things like dressing up as Lilith for some reason. That was a really fun scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love that. Like that scene. Like it. Like I think the way their conversation, like it's written perfectly. Like the way the dialogue is written, like it feels. Like it's just, I don't know, like it's hard for me to put into words what I love about it, but like it's just like it's so well written and like really like it really gets like an emotional reaction on you. Like it's such a good like effective scene. I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, when we were watching it, I kind of went, "Wow, the feels." But I kept just saying LMAO, but it was really good. I really liked that scene.
And also Dell's talisman looks very similar to Flapjack, so that's probably.
And Lilith's talisman it looks stupid.
Is that what
so much.
Is that what Hunter's talisman is named?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flapjack.
We had previously, the whole fandom had previously been calling Little Rascal. Or Little Rascal.
And then we got merch of him, and his name is Flapjack.
Yeah. Oh man. I just Lilith's talisman is great. I love the stupid things, you know, like.
Yeah, I love like the stupid small things in this episode, like the book of history's top 10 plot holes.
Also, the time magic thing is really cool. They
and also like Slenderman. That's just a really funny joke that doesn't really talked about.
Wait, what?
In Ida's book of like cryptids, she tried to find one of them is Slenderman.
Oh,
that's just a really funny joke.
I didn't
even notice that. That's great.
It looks exactly like Slenderman, but he just has bags of money, which makes me think he's just like loans people money, and that's just funny. It reminds me of Slenderman in one of those Gravity Falls book, where he's just a guy who's looking for skis.
What was I trying to say?
Not sure.
Completely forgot.
You forgot.
I did.
You forgot.
Did I say that who was? Did I say that you guys were here with me today, or is that something we just brushed over?
No, you didn't.
Okay,
just me and
Shelly today, and also
Hello.
and Tobias. Yeah, we already know that.
They know the part where you leaked your last name. Good job,
but they don't. That's not legal. They don't know.
I wasn't there.
Oh yeah, that's someone else's legal last name, of course.
But you don't know my legal first name or legal like anything. Like my legal name is not anywhere there.
Oh yeah. Gender and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be like that sometimes. You guys should play Kirby in the Forgotten Land. It's really good.
Did you switch games?
Maybe.
I've been drawing Marcy this whole time.
I've been.
What?
I've been doing nothing.
Okay. So.
I don't know why I felt the need to share that.
I really like. Okay, so just design thing. I like the design of Philip, and also like his mustache and beard. They are separate entities, but you can see them both. Like they're I don't know. I like how that's drawn. And
I don't know why you care so much about facial hair.
Because I do. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe this is just me being a trans girl, but like facial hair is just the least interesting thing ever.
I'm a trans guy, so I mean that's like I think this is just a thing that happens because we're like opposites, but you know.
Probably. Yeah,
Um,
probably.
what was I gonna say?
How are we devolving this conversation?
I was gonna try to talk about the designs of the characters.
I like Dell's design.
Dell's design is fun.
Oh yeah, Dell's design is great.
The not the Bannister lady, the other one, the one Luz tries to ask multiple people if they've seen Philip before. And,
oh yeah, and all of them have like really good design.
Yeah, they're really cool looking.
Yeah.
Also,
beautiful background characters.
Yeah, and
it's one of the best things about the show. How awesome the designs look.
Yeah, they're always so awesome. I love all of the designs of the majority of the characters, except Amity's hair. I don't like Amity's style of hair anymore. But
you don't like lavender. You don't
I like the purple.
hair?
I just don't like how it's I don't like how it looks. Other than I liked the last having her hair up, but I like the color. You know, if it was purple but with hair up, then I would have liked that. You know.
I would not. I think the hair up style looks dumb, frankly.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it looks stupid.
Okay. Anyways.
That's the pink hair.
I like the purple though. But I love the banister little thing because I
Banisters.
I love architecture. That's the thing that I really love. And
Oh yeah.
I am an interior design fan myself, so
I love the how excited Lilith gets about banisters, although she's a history person. Architecture is a big part of history, and the differences in different the structures of ancient buildings versus the modern.
That's why quality is so hard to get.
But I ranted a little bit about this while we were watching the episode, but it's very fun to
I like
someone be.
Could this boss please just have more health so I can freeze it properly?
What were you gonna say, Noah?
I love seeing Lilith as a history buff because it's so in character for her and it's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And Lilith in general is just so much better than how she was in season 1.
Yeah, I mean.
Lilith in season 1 was just boring, honestly.
I just didn't have an opinion on season 1 Lilith because she was kind of boring. So that's not. I don't know.
Fair enough. I liked her dynamic with Ida, but if you just view her as her own character, then yeah, she would be boring. Her dynamic with Ida I like that in season 1.
Yeah. I mean, if you think of a character as a relationship, then I mean that's kind of then they really don't mean very much. Sprig.
This do be a Sprig moment.
I know, that's what I was gonna say. Sprig is only important because of that, because of his relationships that he has. With Ivy and then with Anne. You know, those are the two most important things about him is that he's dating someone and that he is best friends with another person. That's not a good character. That's just a relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that everything?
Yes.
About
everything
else then?
My voice is cracked.
So I mean that's kind of a good transition into Amphibia. Although, do you want to give ratings? On the episode?
Oh yeah, right. Rating.
Elsewhere, S1.
I rate this episode I'm shocked, but not that shocked out of 10.
I rate it I give it a perfect 10 out of 10. I loved it so much.
Okay.
Personally, I still think Flies of the 7-Day Parade was a little bit better, but this was still a really good episode.
I give this a 9.5.
I'm really excited for any Spore and Storm too. Because Willow episode, yes, please.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for all of them.
Willow episode with Viney and Scara in it, come on.
Yes, Shelly's favorite characters.
I like Viney and Scara. They're cool.
I love Hunter. Okay.
Oh yeah, Hunter's.
Hunter's also in that episode,
Yeah,
so
I
good for
know.
you.
I know. Okay. Amphibia question mark?
Yep.
Okay,
Maybe the
Commander.
question now.
Here we
Commander Ann question mark?
question mark.
Let's just get the one thing that let's get everyone's favorite part of the episode out of the way right now. Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Genuinely
Yes!
one of the funniest things I've seen in a while.
Oh my god, I love Buffalo. Literally my favorite part of every of life.
I've seen.
It's literally
I've seen
his
the.
profile.
Yeah, it's my
I've
profile picture.
seen.
Yeah.
I've seen the episode 3 times, and I've laughed at it every single time. Like, it's it's the most amazing thing ever.
Literally the best thing ever. Also, I didn't realize
The
I was
best
so
part
staring
is that there's a chance they might have planned this since like the second episode because WAGON has always had that statue of him but buff.
Yeah, it's
So-
amazing.
There's a chance they've been planning this the whole time. And that's just
That just makes it better because like who
Honestly,
doesn't want they're just waiting the whole time like when is Buffalo going to appear? When is Buffalo when are we gonna be able to put Buffalo in here? And man, it's great. I love
this
Buffalo.
made WAGON go from a character I couldn't care less about to a character I think is really funny.
Yeah,
I always
like
love Loggle. I really liked Loggle for some reason. I always did.
I mean, WAGON was funny before, but like he wasn't like that interesting.
Yeah, but
Unlike
I mean,
like Duckweed, who has like several levels to his character.
I thought that Loggle was cool because because of his species. He's an axolotl.
Yeah,
And that makes him
it
interesting.
was like the only axolotl we saw for a while, and it's
Yeah.
probably the only important axolotl.
The only important one that we know of. So that was, I mean, yeah. I thought he was cool for that. His character is fun too. I like the stupid way that he speaks.
yeah, I really liked him in that one season 1 episode. What was it, King Crazy? The one he was introduced to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which was weird. Like, no, Logwood was the first Wood resident to ever really have an episode focused on them, and even then he wasn't in that episode that much.
Yeah, that's true. But like, yeah, he's a cool character. But now he's just better.
Guys,
Now he's amazing.
Podcast,
I like how at the end, when he builds the bridge, he like builds a statue of himself. That was amazing.
He built 4.
Because there's 2 on both sides, and it's on both sides.
Hey, to anyone in the audience, if you ever are interested in doing a podcast, here's some advice for you. Get water before you start the podcast. Otherwise, you'll have to do what I'm about to do and leave and go get some water. Bye, guys. I'll be right back.
Oh, wow.
I can use some water too, but I'm not gonna leave.
Okay. I don't drink water, so.
Oh, that's not good.
That's a /J to anyone watching.
So,
It's not a /J.
should we wait until she comes back? Keep talking.
I think we should probably talk about something so we can fill the space and not just.
Alright, I really like the way Sasha is written in this episode.
Yes, Sasha's
get the things I like about it out of the way before we talk about the things I don't like about it.
Yeah, because Shirley needs to be part of the conversation when we're talking about the things that you.
Yeah, I really like how, like, she's hesitant. Not even just hesitant. Like, she flat out refuses to be commander over Anne because she's just scared they'll ruin her friendship again. Like that totally makes sense.
I agree. It's very interesting and it's very fun to think about because it's kind of like the same thing with Ida. She feels so guilty.
Yeah, it's definitely similar.
It doesn't make any sense in her mind for her to be like to take any control over her because she feels terrible about it. There's also like a little scene during like close to the end before they get out of the serpent's mouth.
Objection.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
I'm playing Ace Attorney.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was Ace Attorney playthrough. Hey everyone, stay tuned
We're
for
talking about how we like the way Sasha is written in this episode.
Oh yeah, Sasha's written. I can English, guys. Sasha's written very well.
Yes, it's.
I like how I think one big thing for her this season is going to be just like her like, well, she kind of already has learned it. Like, she's learned that to be a leader figure, but to be a good leader figure, not like do it for the good of others and be be more like an actual good supportive figure instead of being manipulative and over controlling and
with the small amount of time that she's had in this season, she's done very well in actually growing and not just being, Spring should take notes. He has so much more time to evolve, but
it's really interesting how even though she doesn't get that much screen time, I still it is interesting when you look at her first appearance or to the way to now the amount the insane amount of change, but I think for the most part they did it
in her first appearance she was in a cave.
Very well. It's honestly one of my favorite. She's my favorite character. I love the way they have her grow. It's done so well.
You can also say that for Anne too, which is you should be able to. You see,
you
see her in Best Friends, and it's like, oh my god, you're such a bitch, and I hate you. But
well, I agree with that because when we were doing the season 1 podcast, I went on and on about how much I love Anne's character development in season 1. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I didn't like season 1 Anne. I really dislike her. I dislike her more than season 1 Amity. It's it makes me so frustrated listening to her speak. But I mean that's the point. But it's the point. But it makes me frustrated just to listen to her. And
I like it because it makes it more satisfying when she actually ends up growing out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like listening to it, although we're going to have to go back to that because we're going to finish watching the rest of the show after this is done.
We are?
Yeah. After this show, after the rest of season 3 is ended, we just have a big chunk of not even any of season 2.
We're gonna keep doing it just to cope with the fact that the show is going to be over.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I thought most of us were under the impression that we were going to switch to a different show after that.
Oh yeah, we can do
what
that.
Different shows?
I mean, after 3B and 3 of the Owl House Ends, me and most of the other people here weren't the impression we were just going to start doing podcasts.
Really? Oh, yeah. I mean, we can do that.
We'll figure this out later.
We will.
Yeah, I feel like this would be better as an actual just private conversation and not
during recording. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
I can't say if we will or will not do that then. So.
Stay tuned. What else? Have to watch our Ace Attorney playthrough to learn more. Please watch our Ace Attorney playthrough.
When it comes out.
So. What other positive things would you guys like to say about the episode?
Oh, well, I'd like to say a lot of positive things that you have very negative opinions on. So we're gonna have to save those till later. I do really like how I do like the new Wortwood base. I like that quite.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yes, we all agree on that. We all love that. It looks really fun. I like the their flag. It's Anne's racket and then a sword. Is it Sasha's sword? Question mark.
I never even noticed it. Cool.
Yeah, why did they make it Anne's racket? Did she always have it in mind of that it would?
Yes, she has always had that racket.
No. I know that Anne's had the racket, but Sasha presumably would be the one that made the flag, because Anne was gone at that time. But Sasha always think that Anne would come back?
I guess maybe to inspire hope to the Wortwood citizens that maybe she would be able to.
Yeah, because they did think really highly of Anne. It's that that was their whole. They care a lot about.
Almost a little too highly at times.
Yeah.
I mean, in Turning Point, literally just name dropping Anne. It was all they had. Was all they had to do. Was all Brian had to do to make the Wortwood citizens trusted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. So one thing I like to mention is that I do think there probably should have been some episodes in between Turning Point and this one that focused on that focused on Wartwood being destroyed and them establishing the base, because that's a lot of like really big stuff to just like happen off screen.
Yeah, they built a whole base and they took apart the planter family thingamadoodle. Planter's family shrub episode.
Yeah, I definitely think that like it would be really cool if there were like a lot more Amphibia episodes in Amphibia in season 3A, because there's a lot of stuff that just gets explored. Like this just like completely off.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are like unnecessary in season 3A too.
Yeah, like we didn't need Spider Sprig.
No. We also kind of didn't need Sprig's birthday either.
Dude, imagine if Spider Sprig was an episode dedicated to like have like Wartwood being destroyed. Imagine like that and Olivia Unit would be such a cool combo.
Yeah, it really would be, and it's like such a different thing than Anne being on Earth and having so much fun. It would have been really interesting to be able to see that. I mean, I would have liked that, because I don't like Spider Sprig, so that would have been much better. If Spider Sprig was short, then that would be fun. Like, Spider Sprig. It doesn't feel like it should be a full episode. Like, it doesn't need to be that.
I genuinely do not like. I do not like Spider Sprig.
Nope, I don't. No, Mike does, because Mike
likes even as a I know you've said that like you would like it if it was just like either a short or like just like placed differently in the show, but even as a standalone, even if you like take out the context and just view it as its own episode, even then I still don't really like it.
Oh, I like it because it's like it's just a fun episode. It doesn't fit with any of the plot, but like it's just.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
As much as I don't really care about Sprig, it's still a cool episode, because like problems with that character aside, it's fun to watch their.
Like, fair enough. Mm-hmm. I've said fair enough a lot. I don't know why.
I've said 77 of the same things multiple times. It's fine. The majority of I could literally just be a word.
Actually, I've been muted.
You have been? Wow.
Wow.
Did I mention? Did I mention how much I love Sasha's new design? I don't think I mentioned that.
Here, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
It is.
Oh, it's design. I like how everyone was memeing on it at first and be like, "Oh my god, this looks so terrible," but like, it looks so good.
Because the angle we thought I was
because of the angle.
Yeah, the angle looked weird, but
we saw her from behind. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, it was weird.
Her hair is down fully. That's fun.
I'll have to say fair enough again.
She has a middle part, which is interesting, but okay.
Alright, so I guess let's get into what I don't like.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go with Commander.
Okay, I think this episode would be very good if I know this is like a really common take when it comes to Amphibia, but I really think this episode should have been 22 minutes. I just think this episode is kind of like completely screwed by how terrible the pacing is. Like,
I think it's actually very well. I mean, like what I have preferred it being 22 minutes, yes, but I think it'll still pace very well.
I think for the time it had, it was good. It was good, like for the time it had. But it could, like, any episode you take it and it would be like, yeah, this could have been better for 22 minutes.
Yeah, I just think this episode specifically, I think just, I don't know, like I think so. I don't know. I just think there are parts that move like way too fast and could have used more time to just like breathe. Because like Anne having conversations with Sasha about what happened, like in True Colors. Like they had a conversation about that initially, and it literally was like 3 lines, and that was it. Like we should have had way more time for them to have for them to like be talking about that.
Probably.
At least she's been mentioned again.
No, I'm doing nothing. Hi, Liam.
So, wait, Liam's here?
He's gone.
Ow.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that they're actually going to have a conversation about it later.
Yeah, I hope.
They probably will.
Yeah, it's more likely than how she was. Anne was talking about it before, like with Sprig, and she was like, "I can't handle this," and then she completely forgets about it, and then never brings it up again. You know, talking about what happens in New Normal in the end of the episode. So.
Yeah. Forgot Me Normal had an ending. I thought I just cut off at one point.
Were you gonna say something, Noah?
Yeah. So I think like what I would like to say is like going. My main problem I think is this. So going into season 3. Actually, wait. Okay. So I want to preface this with like all of the stuff that I'm saying could definitely be like outdated by the time like other episodes come out because a lot of this could be fixed with newer episodes. So like a lot of this is so like when I'm saying this, I'm not saying like I'm not good at this. Okay, so when going into season 3, I really was expecting and like there would be like a bigger emphasis on like Anne's like problems with like not being able to trust people anymore, and like it would be like a very defining thing for her character. And what I kind of thought would happen going in is that like she would be very like happy to see Sasha alive and well, like at first, but then kind of like once the adrenaline kind of wears off, she's kind of like still very upset about what happened and very distrustful of her. And Commander Anne would kind of be like the sort of like the like she would be like on the path to like earning Anne's trust. Sasha would be on the path to learning Anne's trust again. And I personally think that like it seems like they might sort of be rushing through it. Like I think it definitely like because at the end of the episode, Anne's basically straight up like wow, you really changed, and it's like to be fair,
Yeah,
She
apparent that
has.
she's changed.
I know, but okay, I probably sound really stupid right now, but I think I don't know, like I really find it hard to put what I'm thinking into words, and I probably sound like a really stupid and like entitled right now, but I just think it's a bit like I genuinely do think she just like I'm not saying she shouldn't be forgiving of her, but I think just the extent that she is like a bit much.
Yeah.
Like one thing I do appreciate is that we do get a scene of her where she's like, "Is this some kind of new manipulation tactic?" And like I do like that they added that there. What I'm hoping they do is that they do more exploration of it in later episodes because in season 2 they kind of had like they had like Anne, like made up with her in the third temple, but then in episodes after that, like the dinner and Battle of the Bands, they still had more tension between them. So I'm hoping they do that. So basically, the entire point I'm trying to make is that in season 2, right? This was only after Sasha's first betrayal. Anne was like,
Hold on. Sorry, my dad's calling me again.
Anne was just like she seemed like very, very skeptical and distrustful of Sasha, in season 2. And like I was expecting to sort of get like a very similar thing in season 3, but like I just find it very odd how like she genuinely seems to be like much more like trusting of her now
Yeah.
than she was in season 2. Which like I mean, when you think about it, I guess it makes sense because Sasha genuinely has changed. But like, if you put yourself in Anne's shoes, I feel like it would personally take me a way longer to trust her again.
It's much harder to hide the things that you want to do if you're a whole ass political.
Sorry, I'm back
You're
again. I'm sorry.
I mean not a political leader. She's just a leader in general. She's the leader of their whole rebellion. It's much harder for her to hide her true intentions that way, you know? So it's I feel like that thing is probably like it's a lot more showing of how she actually is acting um I mean that like she cares about this is her kind of like just her life now, so it wouldn't make any sense if she was just gonna act like this
Yeah.
for that and
I
then
guess like
be fake.
Like basically what I'm trying to say is that I don't think they should be rushing through it, and I think they should be like having Anne start to trust her again like more gradually. That's basically all I'm saying. That I just think they shouldn't be rushing through it.
I mean, I agree that they shouldn't rush through it, but I mean, I feel like I haven't been part of the conversations that you've said this stuff in, but I feel like it's kind of a little bit too early to be saying this. And
Again, I mean, I did say that
yeah,
like they could totally like have more episodes after this, and I'm hoping they do. Like if they have more episodes, like I would totally be fine with it if they had like more episodes after this that like explored it a bit more and showed that Anne still is 100% trusting of her. Like if they did that, I genuinely would be totally okay with that. Like I would. Like I guess like when I'm saying this, like I'm not saying like, oh, they've completely ruined it, like they've like completely screwed it up. I'm just saying that like I'm like I personally didn't think it was a very good start, and I'm kind of concerned that they might screw it up. But
yeah, I mean, I remember with all of the like acknowledging Marcy or Anne acknowledging Marcy stuff, I always have been like, if she acknowledges her at some point, then I'd be good at that with that, and she kind of never did.
Yeah, they did in this episode. Just like, oh, okay, like
yeah, but they're back in Amphibia now. I feel like all of the serious stuff is probably going to be now. It's going to be much more prevalent because they're back in that place of like
you're
all
back
of
in the
this
place
scary.
that matters.
Yeah, the place that matters. Earth, although it's like such a, I mean, yeah, it's their home, it's their end goal, but it's not that important to this story. It's all of this is happening in Amphibia. It's called Amphibia. It's it's all have to do with Amphibia. It's
Honestly, the more
stuff
I
that matters.
think about the more I think about like 3A, it just feels kind of off tonally.
yeah, it really
It
is.
always
It
has
just
been.
the way it is.
Yeah, I know, but like more like well, like honestly, I worded that badly. I mean, like just like it feels like just like a weird like it feels like the whole thing is just so weird. It's just some random subplot that
It really is. Like really, like
Everything.
they took like it was so serious and story focused in like 2B, and so serious and story focused in 3B, and then like in between that they just have this weird spin off part. It's like
Everything in season in 2A is or 3A is so off. Even like the outro is like really happy and funky. The intro is like much more funky and stuff. But it's like, why is it so much less plot and so less important and so much more like fun stuff than
yeah,
everything else that's going on around you, like or in Amphibia, like it's so different and
yeah,
it feels just so wrong, and there's nothing that has been connected to the other
yeah.
stuff except that there's frogs on Earth that are very like human like.
Yeah, I think the problem with it being out of place could have been remedied if they just like had Anne like they focused more on Anne's like trauma over like losing Marcy, and they also had way more episodes focused on Sasha and the rebellion in Amphibia.
Yeah,
That would have alleviated all of the problems.
that's kind of like everything that it kind of would have needed. It would have needed more Amphibia episodes and less of
well,
that happiness.
I know it's kind of like a bit of a weird comparison, but what it kind of reminds me of is like kind of like Total Drama All Stars in a way. This is gonna be a really weird comparison.
I've never seen that.
Also, me
yeah.
and Noah don't know anything about that, so
Yeah,
you
well,
go ahead.
both of you need. Yeah, well, both of you are on culture. Anyway, as I was saying, it kind of reminds because like in Total Drama All Stars, the when it gets like the half like midway through the season, the B plot is so much more interesting than the A plot. Kind of like what was going on in 3A, where like the stuff in Amphibia was more interesting than the stuff that was happening on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
To the point, but like that wasn't the goal of the creators, so they just kind of. So, like in Total Drama All Stars, they kind of just cut out the B plot of it entirely at one point.
Also,
which to be
you said okay. You said that me and Noah are uncultured. I know. I'm saying this really late, but I know a little bit about Total Drama, just not All Stars.
yeah, not enough. Yeah, not enough.
Yeah, I know.
again, Total Drama All Stars is the bad season.
Okay.
As I was saying, like the B plot of that's more like has more of a role of like Courtney and Scott and Glenn is just far more interesting than the A plot with whatever the hell is going on with whatever the heck Mallet. To the point, but like that didn't seem to be their intention, so the B plot just gets cut out in the latest way possible when they want the audience to focus more on the A plot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just had this rant about Total Drama All Stars in my brain just for a while, and this is the perfect excuse to get it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it makes it does like very much correlate to how we feel with Amphibia, since we really like there is really no point for the stuff on Earth, because there wasn't anything happening other than like, oh my god, the FBI,
Yeah, I mean,
Mr. X
having
is
it more
cool and
sense,
all,
Nothing against
like
nothing
having it, having it like more slice of life in like the first two seasons, like that made total sense, and I really liked that. I mean, again, I love season one, but it just doesn't make sense to do that after True Colors. Like it just doesn't.
You can't go back to that after all of that pain that we
No,
went through.
you can't.
You can't
You
just go
can't.
back and be like, you know what? We're gonna get rid of that. Well, this is all happy
You
now.
can't just stab a child and then like go back to being a fun, lighthearted show.
Exactly.
Watch me.
It
Hold
doesn't.
on, my mom is calling me again. Why does this always happen on Final Court?
So
Okay. Yeah,
no,
it wasn't. It didn't fit, and we didn't really get to talk about this before, but it really didn't fit at all, and it just makes so much more sense, like to have that, like, oh my god, what am I trying to say?
I think it would have been cool for them to have like to the episodes be like alternating. So like segment
Yeah.
A would be Amphibia. No, like segment A would be an Earth and segment 2 would be an Amphibia.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
that would have been really cool. That's an interesting idea. That would have been cool. It's like how my school schedule is.
Yeah, I was gonna like say a couple more things about Commander N because I got off to a real bad start and I wasn't explaining myself very well.
Go ahead.
So basically the entire point I guess I'm trying to make is that so in like just sort of like in short, I guess the point I'm making about Commander N is that basically I really hope that they don't rush it. At first I kind of like sort of when I watched it I reacted pretty badly. I was like, oh my god, they're rushing through it, but now I'm kind of sort of like okay, like it's too early to judge, but I just hope that they don't rush through it. And
To say the least,
there's that, and then also I just think the episode is way too fast, and I think I genuinely I think it kind of is very hurt by the fact that it was 20 that it wasn't 20 minutes because there are parts of it that I think like they should have taken their time more. Like I think we really should have gotten more scenes, like not more scenes, like just like more parts with Anna and Sasha, like like exploring like kind of what happened in True Colors, and it kind of goes hand in hand because one problem I have is like I just don't think it does enough to show like outside of basically just like one line of dialogue, the part where she was like, "Is this a new manipulation tactic?" Like outside of that one line of dialogue, I think it doesn't really do enough of a job like just like exploring how Anne is like distrustful of Sasha because it legitimately just does not have enough time to. So I think it should have had more time to do that.
all I'm gonna say is just to say the least for the people watching this, just be glad you don't have access to our Discord because then you would have to bear witness to Noah's opinions from right after the episode aired.
Oh yeah, that was
Just be glad you don't have access to that.
Thank you guys for complaining about me like while we're recording.
I'm not.
You're welcome.
I mean,
Okay.
I never read those messages because I just wanted to have these.
Dude,
kind of
people are gonna watch this and like think that you hate me or something.
Okay, disclaimer everyone, that was a joke.
/J.
Yes, I am slash Kenny.
Okay, yes.
No, slash
Yes, when I
SRS.
first watched it,
Limo.
I think I reacted badly because I genuinely, like, to
Because
explain,
that's okay. I
I,
feel like
I
that's the
was,
thing that
li-
you've cared
I,
about. Okay, that's the thing that you've been caring about like since season 3, because that was such a big thing in season in True Colors, how she didn't trust her, and then now like it was put on hold for a long time, and nobody like it was not a thing that was mentioned ever. And same
listen,
with Monty's existence, that was
yeah,
also like put on hold, and that's
I
why.
don't think the reaction I had was unreasonable because, I, I genuinely was, really, I'm saying genuinely, I was really expecting Anne to have more, trust issues with Sasha, and, seeing the way where it's, seeing how the episode did it, it really, caught me off guard, the way they did it, and, it kind of annoyed me, and, yeah, I have mellowed out a little bit, and so basically my opinion now is just, okay, I'm not gonna say they ruined it, but, I really just hope that I really
Do
just hope
more.
that they do exploring it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I will be totally happy with it if they do a really good job exploring it. I kind of want them to do similar stuff, a lot of similar to what they did in season 2B, the way they explored the complications of their relationship. I want more stuff like that. If they do explore it more, I would totally fine with that. If they don't explore it more and they're just completely on good terms now, then that will be absolutely terrible. But I think the chances that they'll do that are pretty low.
We haven't talked about Sprivy at all yet, but
Talk about that now. When my parents are gonna make me do something again.
so like with that episode, Anne and Sasha aren't even in the episodes very often at all,
Yeah.
really. So,
It's
but
more
with
of a sprig focus, but a good sprig focus.
yeah, it's a
Oh,
good.
wait, we have to give her a rating for Commander Ann first.
Commander Anne, I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Hmm. That's the thing. I think my view on this episode, it could completely change depending on how well they follow it up. So, I guess, I still think the pacing is
Standalone
really bad.
episode. Just go standalone episode. Go.
I think the pacing is really bad. And, I don't know, I guess, I don't know, I think sometimes you do kind of have to take in, the context of the show. I don't think...
Yeah.
So I guess for now, I'm gonna give it, just a 6, or, like a 5.5, actually, because I just think... I don't know.
Shelley?
Yeah.
I think it's a really good episode. I can't think of a specific joke this time around, so I give it an A minus out of 10.
Nice. Okay. So, Sprivy,
Yeah,
on to the next episode. I said a little bit, because I was trying to talk about, the
Sorry,
furthering
I got
of Sasha and Anne's relationship, because, I mean, it is a few days after, at least, because, Sprig now knows what the briefing,
Yeah.
the mission briefing bell sounds like, and, they've, grown more into the, how life is in their little bunker thing. So, I mean, we don't see their relationship at all in that episode, but Anne is just a tiny bit unhappy with being the bad news, although that might just be a joke.
It's
It probably is just a joke.
Yeah, it is probably just a joke, but I
In
thought that was
fact, I
funny.
can say without a shadow of a doubt that is definitely just a joke.
Yeah, it doesn't really have much of a meaning to it, but yeah, it's
And barely even in this episode.
yeah, no, she's not in the episode at all. But, I like Ivy. Ivy has always been a character that I really like.
Ivy has always just been, the cooler Sprig.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like the
Yeah,
Daniel cooler.
theoretically, I shouldn't like this episode because I'm not a huge fan of, all of the, um, episodes where the plot is oh, Sprig is acting irresponsibly. I'm not usually a fan of those.
It makes sense.
I thought this one, it does make sense, and it does make total sense because they literally haven't seen each other for months. It does make total sense.
It's been a month.
And yeah, and yeah, not month, but still.
Yeah, they've been away from each other for a while. They have no access to talk to each other.
And
That's how.
Yeah,
That's how
I just think it's like
teenagers are.
like it's nothing amazing, but like it doesn't have to be. It's just like just a nice just a just I don't know. It's just like a nice cute episode. I know we were just complaining about how like the slice of life stuff in
This isn't a slice
season
of life.
This isn't a
three.
slice of life.
So,
Not really. But let me
Yeah.
finish. I mean, it like like this episode probably didn't need to exist, but I still thought it was good. To be fair, though, I probably would have preferred.
It did though.
we needed to know about Fern.
You also need the supplies. That was like the biggest thing of
Yeah,
the episode, trying to get the
yeah.
supplies.
Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
And
I
seeing
guess
Molly's
like
dad, it's pretty cool.
I'm just thinking like if there would have been a way to make Commander in 22 minutes.
I mean, yeah.
I
I don't think it should have been 22 minutes.
I don't think I'm doing a very good job articulating myself in this recording, and I probably look really stupid, but whatever.
We're just not very. We're just not.
None of us
I just.
are really
I just come to. I just come to the realization that none of us are good at doing. I just come to the realization that we're all terrible people to do podcasts. Like all seven of us.
Yeah, we're not. We're
Like
not. Really good.
we're
all very good at like having opinions and wanting to rant about them, but if we're doing that in speech, like an actual like speaking, it's kind of hard for all of us because none of us are really good at speaking. We're
losers.
we're all the type of people that just like spend hours on our phone and don't talk to the outside world. So we don't talk very
But I've been on science since 1987.
Before Shelley was born. Good.
Yeah. Before I was even conceived.
Yeah, so we're all not very good at talking, but we still really like we have these opinions and we like really want to get them out. I have
very dumb opinions that I would like to talk about.
You don't need to say it like that. It's just you have differing opinions than the most.
Okay, I'm just saying it because you were like, I don't know.
It's not that they're.
You gotta be kidding me.
They're just differing from most of the rest of us. And
they're really at 2:30.
I wouldn't say that like they're dumb because I usually like partly agree with them. I've never like fully disagreed with all of their.
Yeah, I think it's what happens is like my opinion on an episode will usually be like way stronger because I was talking to Mike earlier. I was talking about a lot of the problems I have with Commander Ann, and he was basically just like, yeah, I totally get what you're saying, and I agree to an extent. I just don't feel as strongly about it as you do.
I agree that like they haven't done a very good job at like showing Anne's trauma or how she has dealt with any of the things that has happened. But I don't agree that Commander Anne should have been 22 minutes. I think it's good as an 11-minute as it is, but.
Like when we can just like agree to disagree on that. I think it really should have been longer.
Okay.
And I think it being longer would have just made it feel bloated, honestly.
It would have been too long because
that's fair enough.
It doesn't need because if your complaint is that there's only a few lines, if you turn them into full conversations, they're not. Both of those like the conversations that they have about it is not going to be 11 minutes long. It's not going to be 11 minutes worth of conversation.
Okay, you've kind of actually just like completely destroyed that point of mine and made me realize how wrong it is.
But yeah, you understand.
I feel like
I guess like I don't know, like well, because that's the problem though, because like I think it's way too fast. It's way too fast as 11 minutes in my opinion. But now I think about it, yeah, it probably would be too bloated as 22 minutes. So like there isn't really like an obvious solution for me. I guess
there is an obvious solution actually. Just do what they did with Toad Tax. Toad Tax is 13 minutes.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
that's true. Actually, wait a minute. That you just brought up a good point. If they just removed the intro and did like this if they removed the intro song, they would have like 30 extra seconds, and you could have gotten like a good basically could have gotten like a good just conversation with Anne and Sasha that would have lasted more than 3 lines.
Yeah, that would have that would have done it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So okay, so that's actually the solution. Not making it.
Just get rid of the intro. Who needs an intro anyways?
I don't have much time to be here. Can we talk about Sprivy now?
Oh yeah.
I think it's a good
It's a
episode.
really good.
Ivy is a very smart character, although she can be very blinded by love.
Dare I say this is the best Sprig episode of the whole show?
I agree. It is.
Probably, yeah.
I agree. I do really like I do like Sprig in this episode, although cringe.
I'm like yeah. Shut up, Arrow. Anyway.
I'm jokingly saying that though. I hope you know that.
I know. Yeah, we know.
Okay.
And as I was saying, Sprig is actually, likable in this episode.
Yeah.
So and he's not even like the best character in this episode. Can we talk about the best character in this episode now?
Is it Fern or Ivy?
Yeah, of course, Fern. Of course,
Fern.
it's Fern.
Yeah.
Fern's a great character. I don't know why they decided to give this background. This character has been in the background since very early on, like a name and a voice now. But like, I'm glad they did. Fern is just genuinely really like.
Fern is a great character. I agree. Also Sasha, like we know that like she's really good at planning things, but like this is a good showing of that. And also Ivy picked up on. I mean, Ivy came to the same conclusion after being like, oh my god,
dumb.
After being a little bit dumb, blinded by love, but yeah.
A little bit on the stupider side.
Yeah, Sprig might have rubbed off on her a little bit because
Sprig's stupidity is contagious.
Yeah.
If we're on the topic, so I mentioned earlier how I really loved how I really loved how the way they wrote Sasha in Commander Ann, and I think that also extends to here. I really love how they wrote her here, and how I think one thing I like is how
her personality is literally the same. She's still Sasha. It's amazing. Yeah, I cut you off a little bit because you started being quiet, but it's she's still a cheerleader. She's still the same person,
I like that.
And that's that makes it her really fun.
What I was saying is that I like how I actually mentioned it in Commander, and I like how it shows she's just a natural leader figure. She's very good at leading, and this episode isn't that it sort of continues what Commander Ann does, and really sort of shows that, and it really shows that she's learned to just be a leader for good, for a good reason, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead of being a toxic leader, she's she. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was only slightly furious at Sprig and Ivy.
Slightly furious. Yeah, they did definitely do a dumb, and it was good that. I mean, they did learn. I know that that's gonna be a thing that they actually do. Sprig gets a piece of development. Let's get a clap for Sprig.
Sprig gets a piece of development that he will throw away next episode.
I don't think he will. I don't think they can do that. They can't.
Oh, they can't. Oh, they done. Ivy actually develops.
If Ivy develops, then how could Sprig not develop? Because then
he's Sprig. Ivy learned in Ivy on the Run. Sprig didn't.
But if Ivy learns and Sprig doesn't, then that kind of will turn it a little bit codependent because
all it would do is just reinforce our point. Sprig is an idiot.
Yeah. But
I like
come on.
Oh wait, we already mentioned that.
Yeah.
We should like Fern. Fern is cool. I like Giants. It's pretty neat.
Yes. Fern is cool, but not as cool as Loggle. Buff Loggle.
Not personal.
I also like Stumpy. Stumpy's great.
Stumpy's always great. Stumpy has always been amazing.
He's awesome.
Also, I want to talk about the most baffling thing I've seen in the show in a while.
What?
Monroe was in the background of this episode.
Oh yeah.
Genuinely, I thought he'd been dead since his last appearance.
I thought he would have died too, but I mean he didn't.
I guess he's
Fine.
just always been in Warwood and has just never made a reappearance until now.
I mean,
Okay.
I mean, there really wouldn't be a reason why he would be necessary to be there, but
I know, but you think he'd at least make background appearances at least at some point. But nope, just completely vanished from the face of the planet until now.
I mean, maybe he was somewhere else, and then he was just like, "Oh, the world is ending. I better see what's going on with Wartwood, I guess." You know?
Oh.
Like that might have been a thing. We don't know.
Yeah. The pinata Andreas. You want to talk about that?
Yes.
Great.
That's great. They are. Yes, I would have participated if I could.
We all would.
Mhm. I think that's probably about it. But Sprivy is not as like packed full of things, but it's still a great episode, I'd say.
Yeah. You're like a solid 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say 7.5.
Yeah.
And now we can wrap this
Or
up.
8.
I have to go.
Oh yeah, by the way, I've been thinking for a second. I would like to change my score for Commander N because now I'm thinking about it, it's not a bad episode. I just think, like, if you just like kind of weigh out like the positives and the negatives, I think it's like a decent episode. It's always like just either like a 6.5 or a 7. Like it's not it's not a bad episode. And I think the only thing like wrong, like inherently wrong with the episode is just that I think some parts of it are paced a little too fast, and I think they could have explored parts more. But I think my opinion on it definitely does depend on whether or not they do a good job exploring stuff like afterwards, if that makes sense. So yeah. So yeah, I don't completely hate it.
Okay. Well,
my rating for Sprivy is a clock tower out of 10.
All right.
See, the reference here is the game Clock Tower. The main villain is the Scissor Man, who has a giant pair of scissors.
That's great. That's something.
Play Clock Tower. It's good.
Well, I don't know who you're talking to.
Also, I was talking to everyone.
Okay.
Also, if anyone in the audience has played Kirby and the Forgotten Land, where the heck is the third Waddle Dee in the racing level? Someone please tell me. I can't find it.
Bruh. Okay. Well, that's enough of Amphibia in the Owl House for this podcast, I guess. So, join us next week on a Sunday to find out what happens next, I guess, because with us and our opinions.
Will I commit arson next Sunday? Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Goodbye.